That I'm doing for the brilliant T.C. Tolbert's class, Trans and Gender Queer Literature, and it's a night of, obviously you've already been here, awesome, amazing trans and gender queer performers. So I'm gonna just close it out with a few poems, then we can all go. All right. Part 1, Out of Your Mouth and Into My Body, or When Poetry is a Luxury. How I emerge. Relationality inscribed in, on, through my, your, our body. Fundamental, the is. Freedom emerges not out of vacuum, emptiness, the space between bodies, not that neutrality exists between bodies. A bomb blown with the last hot breath of terror, it expands, it expands. It shrinks. It shrinks the bars already so close, so confining, closer together. Grown with intention out of the empty in your throat, the food that never saw your belly, the language ripped from your tongue. Translate into French, translate into English, translate into Hebrew, translate into phallus, translate into cis, translate into hetero. I will shrink myself. Always into and out of the mouth of my bastard father. The size of a cave, his mouth consumes you to spit freedom onto me. In my dream last night, you left me. It did not change anything. La Llorona continued to cry for her children. The bullet did not recede into the gun. The fingers that triggered the bullet were still wet with shame. The shame still stained us. The ash turns corporeal on my fingertips, suffocates my lungs the way I like it. And maybe it's the artist in you, the lover in you, that freezes me into a snapshot of strength which you praise, which I hate. And maybe it's the writer in me, the survivalist in me, that imagines of imagining away my body's history. But still, at night, bodies, tongues, tears tied together in an attempt to defeat pain. My dream love does imagine away La Llorona, the bullet, the fingers, for a suspended moment. I yearn for the expansion of that moment to survive, so that I can survive. I wasn't actually going to read this poem, but I thought it was fitting for Easter, so I'm going to read it. Ode to Earthquake. Fuck the ribcock of Adam, whose love was a misreading in the beginning. Oh, Alan, oh, Jack, how I have learned to love you more than myself. Oh, Anne, oh, Sylvia, wearing your uteruses on your sleeves. You were the taboo Freud warned against. 1. The rooftops falling apart like an applauded earthquake. Oh God, oh Jesus, the man God, the voodoo phallus which clouds my dreams, who waves around Moses' staff, writing guilt onto my body like blue-gray onto water. Oh Edna, Edna who was deafened by the birds chanting tyranny, whose lungs will forever be filled with seaweed and freedom. Your stained body, a deep glow from the bottom of the sea, you could not find an eraser big enough. Oh, Adrian, Adrian whose whiteness was never really white enough, who, in killing her father, killed the Nazis who killed her father, whose terror was determined by fragments of strength turned violent. Adrian, who rejected the nihilism pumped into her veins with the needle you called God, or sun, or self. Oh, Audrey, Audrey who prayed the life she gave her life to would not turn on her, but would instead turn on suffering. Who asked me out of the room, knowing I could take it, or should take it, that I've got to take it. Audrey, who knew revolution through erotic bombs and the sex of writing a poem. 2. under the pretense of peace. Stupefied, pacified, terrified, punches to cut, superficial organisms, superficial orgasms, hollow, hallowed. Myself, who shudders at the irony of myself. Stolen, saved, and stolen back by the facade of brilliance lying dormant in frailty, whose chaos requires neither order nor smooth skin, but whose name shape is only recognizable through the mouth of Moloch. Myself, who knows that failure is the lifeblood of revolution. Fail furiously again and again to spit savagery onto stars. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight.